200 days since the last upload, the Russian Grand Prix, Lando Norris took pole position. I don't think a lot has happened since then, so we can skip over most of that and jump straight to 2022, where 3 races down already into Formula 1's brand new era. The brand new regulations and oh my goodness are very good. The racing we have already seen this year has been wonderful. Wheel-to-wheel racing is back. We've got a fight at the front, we've got an epic fight in the midfield, the splice in that midfield group is unrivaled, and even the back markers, they're scoring points. And so the foundations of a great season, of their 3 races down, an awful lot more to go. So before we kick things off, in real true racing review style this season, we've got 3 races to catch up on, and the first of those, the very first race of the season, was in Bahrain. A Ferrari 1-2 Charles Leclerc with victory number 3 for the monogash driver, the first Ferrari 1-2 since Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc in Singapore 2019. Long overdue for Formula 1's most historic team, and already they definitely seem to be the team to beat so far this season. In 3rd and 4th it was Mercedes, and I think the storyline over their first 3 races, as we all know, it's not been plain sailing for our 8-time Constructors' Champions. A difficult car, a real handful we saw in Saudi Arabia out in Q1 for the podium in the first race of the season for Lewis, and some solid points on his official debut for Mercedes. For George Russell, a man I was over the moon to see make his return to Formula 1, and you just know the love I had for Grosjean in particular of course, but the love I had for Grogan and Kamaga we've got one of them back. And P5 man, P5 on his return in Bahrain for K-Mag, points for Haas, the first time since Roman Grogan in 2020. All the way back at the Neve agreeing, my boys are back. Looking forward to keeping an eye on Haas so far this year. Bottas scoring points for Alfa Romeo, they look quick. Ocon, Alonso in the points, Yuki-san in the points as well, and Guan Yu show on debut. Not only scoring points but putting in a heck of a race. He's had it a bit rough and tumble so far this year, but considering I got stick for standing up for him, that boy last season, so far he's been pretty saucy, and in Bahrain overtaking Lewis Hamilton in race 1 of your career. That's what we want to be seeing. Guan Yu, great start to life in F1. We then travelled over to Saudi Arabia where Sergio Perez stuck it on pole position. His first pole, the record for the longest it's taken a driver to secure that first pole position. But an unlucky safety car saw Cheered finished the race in P4. But after that heartbreaking double DNF in Bahrain for Red Bull, they bounced back in Saudi Arabia. Leclerc and Verstappen. An awesome fight for the second week running. Those two, that rivalry, it's going to hit those heights of Hamilton and Verstappen? Time will tell, but so far so good for the young duo. Over Stefan on top in Saudi, only just though, only just. Was so close, less than a second across the line, Leclerc and Sainz though doing that business. Second and third, a double podium for Ferrari yet again. Perez of course was P4 George Russell. More points for Mercedes O'Connor. Again scoring points, Norris finally got his first points for McLaren, and I say finally even though it's his second race. But they were so bad in Bahrain. Awful. They clawed back in Saudi, and as we're going to see in a minute, it got even better in Australia. And that's the beauty of these regulations. 8th place Pierre Gasly getting his first point of the season. K-Mag back in points 2 weekends in a row. You love to see it. And Lewis Hamilton I mentioned earlier out in Q1. Maybe the biggest shock of the season so far, but a great little race, a great comeback caught out late on by the safety car. Likewise with K-Mag, but points yet again for Lewis Hamilton, and last time out this previous weekend. Not that long ago, Melbourne. We were back, I love Melbourne. The changes I think worked well. I think it's hard to tell because of course the new regulations in general are providing fantastic racing. But this was a circuit that was in need of a bit of TLC. Some changes, some tweaks, they've done that, and I think in particular Sector 2 roundabouts turning the new layout completely flat out for the majority Sector 2. Now instead of that clunky right hand 90-degree turn 8 into the sweeping left hander corner across the lake, it worked. But did it really ever give us plenty of overtakes? Did it set up any nice overtakes into turn 9 and 10? Not really. New regs, new layouts definitely provided great racing in Melbourne. And though 9 and 10, a few drivers getting caught out, including Carlos and T-Mac. Also no points perhaps this time around. I know at least the tyre stayed on this time anyway. Leclerc victorious for the second time this season for the fourth time in his career, but more importantly for the first time. His first Grand Slam dominant in Melbourne was Charlotte. It was Perez in P2 after another mechanical failure for Red Bull. They've got to get out on top of that Ferrari and have a quick car, and it's reliable. Red Bull have a quick car, not very reliable. And it was Mercedes again, third for George Russell, his first podium for Mercedes. Hamilton back in good solid point score and position in P4. They're definitely not quick. Mercedes, they're definitely missing out on that final couple of tenths over Red Bull and Ferrari. But are they more reliable? And so far, G-Russ second in the drivers, Merck second in the constructors. It's going to be a long season. And Mercedes, if they can get those upgrades that they're hoping to get over the next few weekends, could they be back in the fight? Looking forward to discussing that one later on. McLaren with a 5th and 6th place for Norris and Danny Rick, even though Norris very late on had some reliability issues and they were told to hold position. What's going on with their season? Why on earth are they struggling to get out of Q1 in the first race of the season and then get a 5th and 6th in race 3? No upgrades, madness. That is the kind of season we're going to have this year. Ocon, one of the few drivers to score points in every single race this year. Going under the radar for Alpine, but Fernando Alonso is someone we've not really spoke about so far. He had the pace in qualifying. A supposed hydraulics issue putting him out of quality, making him start at the lower end of the top 10, and then a really abysmal bit of strategy that he couldn't really help due to the timing of a safety car which saw him in 17th place. Bota points again for Alpha Gasby, points again for Alpha Tauri, and Alex Blooming. Albon, what a race that was, P20 to P10. Yeah, that's solid, driving every single lap on one set of tyres, apart from that final lap of the race. That is a spicy Grand Prix. Driver of the day, worthy if not for a Grand Slam from Charles Leclerc Alex doing the business for Williams. The only team now to score is Aston Martin, who in all honesty I might just make a video about all on their own. It's been a rollercoaster for them and there's definitely work to do in the Aston Martin camp, but that is it. Your very brief roundup of the season so far. Ferrari seem to be on top, Red Bull has a quick car, it's unreliable. Can Mercedes get these upgrades to propel them into that fight at the front? What about McLaren? What about Alpine? If Mercedes can jump forward, surely some of these other teams can as well. We're going to have to wait and see. Emily is next time out, but until then, there's going to be content. Yes, hard to believe, I know. There's going to be content, and that is highlights of F1 cars of 2022. If you really enjoyed to see this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also press the bell icon for more videos like this. Goodbye.